What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I warmly welcome you to the Caribbean and to my yardstead here in Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Abby. This evening we are going to be pruning this tomato tree right here. It is quite bushy and I'm starting to see signs of either spider mite or the thrip infestation on the foliage. Focus camera. So I'm seeing that happening on the foliage, so I want to get in here and create some airflow in this plant. The plant looks pretty healthy and it is fruiting. I haven't had a tomato fruit in quite some time mostly because I didn't know that I was dealing with spider mites and thrips. Over the last year, with 2024, I realized what I was dealing with, and since then I've been tackling it both with pesticides. Most of last year I was dealing with pesticides and I'm still with the problem. So this year I'm over it. I'm just gonna do it organically and hope that we get some type of reprieve from the thrips. Right now I'm not seeing spider mites, but I am seeing a lot of thrips, and the thrips tackle everything in the garden, every single thing in the garden. So I'm gonna prune this tomato tree back some to create some airflow in here and to give the thrips less place to hide in this tree. And I'm seeing more fruiting happening. I'm really happy about that. So I'm doing everything I can to keep this plant healthy. And after this we are going to get into planting yams together. The last couple of days, guys, has been so very hot. These garlics are not jamming at the moment. I think that the timing that I chose to do this was not the best. I should have really timed it to plant these things out in December, where we could have gotten the majority of our cooler months. Now we're warming up really hot, and the garlics are not looking happy at all. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. We are going to be planting yams, guys. Yams in feed bags. And instead of me going out and buy soil, I wanted to use this opportunity to share how you can use your local soil plus some organic materials to create the soil that you need and want in your bags over time, especially if a person can't afford to buy everything. I want to show them that it's still possible to grow your own, make your own soil and grow at home without breaking the bank. As you well know, it's getting more difficult to buy things, and so we need to be creative, and that's what I want to share today, how each of us can be creative in our yards, that in our gardens, not having to buy every single thing. So after I get pruning with this, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to show you one way I've been creative in my garden and how you can probably mimic it if you would like. Alright?
Job amazing in the center.
Okay, guys, so I have here with me about 15 gallons of soil that I want to put into a feed bag. It's filthy, yes, but it's gonna hold the soil, and that's all I need it to do. Eventually it will wash off, I think. But yeah, what I'm saying is this is about 15 gallons of soil that I have here that I want to plant some corn. right? So I have no more real estate, and so I'm creating real estate in the garden. Now I know I mentioned yams before. I've already prepared my bags for my yams, but I want to demonstrate to you how you can create your own soil. It's going to take some time, but you can create your own lovely soil in your containers over time. Now what you would need to do is start off with this. Is poor soil. It's clay soil, guys. Very clay soil. But clay soils also have some great properties about them. If you're growing in containers, they retain water quite well, especially if you have very dry conditions. It tends to hold water well, and it actually has a lot of nutrients in the clay soil. So what we need to create is something to break up the compactness of the clay soil, but yet keep its properties. So what you can use, or what I am using, is something that is very attainable by us all, which is grass clippings. In a lot of our Caribbean communities, there are savannas, there are grasslands that are maintained by private people or governmental agencies that you can go and just pick up the grass without any problems. Like for instance, in Barbados, we have a lot of cane. When the cane is cut, there's a lot of thrush all around. You can use that. There's a lot of savanna grass here in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm pretty sure all over the Caribbean we have lots and lots of savannas that we can use. And so that's why I'm using this material, to show you that you can use this that you can use this as you can use this as your organic material to help you break up the compactness in the clay soil. So after you start with your first crop, you may get a little challenge with it. You may, with corn, grows in anything, those roots are quite formidable. It penetrates practically anything. So you could start with corn. You grow your corn, you get your crop, you harvest your crop, but you have to empty out what's in the bag and repeat this process that I'm going to show you. So the process I use is the lasagna process, where you start off a little bit of soil, a little bit of grass, a little bit of soil, a little bit of grass, and you repeat that process until the bag is filled to the capacity that you want it to be filled to. Now as the grass breaks down, it feeds the soil, and it also helps with drainage in the clay soil. And once you keep repeating the process every time you get a crop, that material works into the clay, and you start to get that nice lovely black soil that you so desire. I just want to make this clear, this is for persons who can't buy it right off the bat, and I just want to make this video to give you like a demonstration that you don't have to buy everything. And a lot of people now can't buy everything, but they need to grow their own gardens, and this is me just trying to encourage you to get started no matter what. Even if you don't have money to buy anything, once you can get your hand on a couple buckets of dirt, I'm pretty sure there's some neighbor that will be willing to give you a scoop full of dirt. You don't have to buy those expensive garden pots, which is hundreds of dollars. In my country, it's hundreds of dollars for a 20-gallon container. You don't have that. You can get a feed bag practically for $3, $5 max. You could start with that, and you could work your way up with the garden. Now guys, I had to take a big old chunk of humble pie to use these garden bags, because I dearly love a very aesthetically pleasing garden. My vision of a garden is beautiful pots and arbors and arches and roses and all the beautiful things that you could think about. We see it a lot on YouTube, but the reality is that it's not attainable by all. It is not attainable by most. And so once we can bite and chew that piece of humble pie and start with humble beginnings, which is a bit of local soil, local dirt. Here is clay. Once we can start with that, you're on the right path, and eventually you're going to work your way up to having your own unique beautiful garden, no matter what you're planting. Right, so I'm going to get started with layering these soils in this bag because I really want to show you what I've learned. I've never planted yams before, but what I've learned on YouTube, how you can plant yams in bags, and how you can do it. All right, so let me just share how to do this lasagna style in the feed bag. First thing is set your bag where you want it to be because it's going to get super duper heavy. Like I said, I'm starting off with 15 gallons of soil, and this is going to be really heavy. And the area that I'm planting this is going to be full sun, but this is where my husband vehicle parks, right here, when he comes home in the evening. But in the day when he's gone, the plants will get majority of the sunlight. So let me bring you a little closer. A broken tripod. Right. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my soil. Put in half the bucket, which is 2.5 gallons. That's the base of the bag. And I try my best. This is about 6 gallons of dried grass clippings I'm using, and I'm just gonna stuff the bag with the grass clippings in here. So that's the first layer of grass, a generous amount. And then I'm gonna put again some more soil on top. I am not even bothering to break up this because it's clay and it's going to recompact, so I'm going to leave it as it is there. Put in more grass clippings. Put in as much as your heart desires. And put in soil, and that's it. That's it. That's all you need to do to get started. And on the upper level, on the last level, you're gonna heavily mulch the top. Paddle, 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 paddle. Paddle, paddle. That's it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Paddle. Alright guys. Whew. Multitasking. So I'm going to try to finish this video for you quickly and get back to teaching him how to ride his bike. So these are the 3 bags that I've already prepared for the yams. Over here to my right, I have the yams here already cut, and I coated them in some ash, and apparently that's all we need to do. We just need to cut the yam. Oh there, I'm coming. I was telling you guys that I have already prepared these bags for the yams, and I have here some yam that I bought. I watched on YouTube here that you just need to cut the yam, a piece of it, coat it in some ash, and stick it in the soil, and it should sprout. Now the clay soil that I put in here can very well compact, and I did the same lasagna style that I did for the corn with the yam, the sacks for the yam. And my plan is to allow the yam vine to grow up the tonka bean tree, because yam vine isn't a vine that sucks as it grows, it just vines. And so when the tree dies, all I need to do is to pull down the vine, and it wouldn't affect the health of the tonka bean tree. That's my research. If I'm wrong, you can let me know in the comment section down below. But I am hoping that I can, from this one piece of yam, produce 3 pieces, 3 lovely size yams in about 9 months, because that's roughly what it takes to reproduce yam in the garden. And so the plan is not just to grow leafy stuff in the garden, but to also grow things that can actually fill us calories. So that's why I started sweet potatoes, and now I'm trying yams. I have bananas, things that are actually filling, you know, things that can go into a pie and stuff like that. So you don't just want a bunch of leafy greens. As you can see, there's lots of leafy stuff around me. I have my peppers that are behind me. I have it, but I want to be balanced as well and have a bit of calories. So I want to try out the yams in the garden. We do love it in soups and in pie, yam pie. We love that a lot. So I'm going to try growing it here in the garden to see how it produces. So I'm going to put you on a tripod. I'm going to stick these yams. I'm going to cut the yams, show you what I learned online. And actually, let me mention here that apparently is a thing in African countries to grow the yams in sacks, because it's easier to harvest and it's easier to, you know, get to the crop. And so they plant their yams in sacks a lot, and so I'm just going to mimic that, hoping that I get a great yield. Rainy season is coming, and so there's a lot of things that we need to button up here in the yardstead, especially when it comes to the animals, because we get flooding here where we are. And I do have some infrastructure that I want to put in for my chickens, so that my coop can avoid being flooded out. It happens to me every year, and it is very, very stressful to deal with, especially rainy season is when my birds get sick. All right guys, so I'm going to put you on a tripod, and I'm going to show you me planting out these yams and how you could do it for yourself at home, guys. This is me I really am passionate about it. A lot of people are struggling, they're not eating properly, and there are things you can grow on your own that doesn't have to break the bank. You could just eat a bit of humble pie like I am, and just plant in whatever medium you can find and build it up over time. So I don't know what kind of yam is this. I'm not knowledgeable in these kind of things. I'm not even going to pretend to say I'm knowledgeable about it. So okay guys, so basically what I saw them do is, I'm going to keep this, it's still perfectly good piece of yam. I'm going to like these, because I had these in here a few minutes before. I'm just using the ash from the pot that we barbecue in. So I'm just using this to coat both sides with the ash. Once I coat the both sides with the ash, from what I read, all I need to do now is to put them into the pot, and that's it. Hopefully it sprouts, and when it sprouts, we are going to time it 9 months, or when the vine starts to die back, we know it's ripe, that we could harvest our yam. So from one yam, we hope to get 3 pieces of yam. And after I plant these, I'm going to sprinkle this on the top of the bag for, you know, to add nutrients to the soil, because as I said, this is local soil we're using, and so we need to vamp it up a little bit. So let's start here with this bag so you can see what it looks like. I did not put water in this one as yet. So I'm just going to take 1 piece of the yam that we harvested, and I'm just going to rest it here and lightly cover that. And now I'm going to put some grass clippings on the top. This is already starting to break down. We're going to put that on the top, and we're going to water it and allow that to sprout. I left a little cavity a bit in the center where the yam is, so that if it sprouts, it doesn't have much difficulty in coming up. So you and I are going to see together if the yam really grows, because this is my first time harvesting, well, growing yam. Oh my word, I wish I had on gloves now. This one is wet. So I'm just gonna cover this up. I'm gonna leave the yam there, and hopefully it sprouts. So now I'm just gonna put some of the ash here in the center where because the yam is. Put it in the center, and like I said, guys, over time, I'm not too worked up about it. So guys, that's it for today. The moral of the story for today is humble pie and how good it tastes. If you don't have the means to get started with buying everything, get started with what you have. Local soil, local organic material, grass clipping, leaves, whatever you can get your hands on, cane trush, whatever you can get your hands on, start with that. Despite what is being pushed today as regards having to have loose soils and buy everything, no, it's really an agenda really to be a consumer, to be wrapped into the whirlwind of consumerism. And a lot of these containers, guys, I just used local dirt, and over time, yes, I did buy a couple bags of soil. I actually mixed it in with some of the things that I had. Using your local soil, if you cannot afford to buy all of your garden materials, is okay. It's really okay. I'm here to tell you it's okay. And it's just for you to get started, 1 container at a time. Get your water bottle, get your old paint pail, you wash it out good, you mix in your grass clipping, your leaves with your local dirt, you put in some lime, you do what you need to, and plant something, 1 thing, and grow from there. My garlic isn't doing so good. I know the time of the year that I've chosen to kickstart this project was poorly timed. I forgot that I should really try to grow it in my cooler months, which is between December and February. February to March, you know, around that time, because it's starting to heat up a lot right now. And what we have is the northeastern winds with the Sahara dust, super dry winds. They're here, and they're baking everything, and my garlic is not is not having a field day. It's dying. They're dying. They're so wilty, and I can't keep up keeping them hydrated, and I don't think that they would do good. But in the meantime, I bought me some seedlings to fill in the spaces so that we can get keep production going, because as I said, I need to work on succession planting, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop some stuff in there. So I got me some more pak choy seedlings, some cabbage seedlings, I have some chives. So and I had these for over 5 days now. They're screaming to get into their forever home. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to put these into the garden, and I'm going to do my spraying down with the normal water in the garden for the thrips. The thrips are damaging the garden, but say what, I am determined not to touch any chemical stuff this year, and it's been going really good. It's really nice to come out and just harvest and not wonder if I let the time lapse before harvesting this on the bottle. It's really nice that I could just come out and pick something. It's really, really cool. So this is where I leave you guys today, just encouraging you to take a chunk of humble pie and grow with what you have. Until we see each other, guys, take care. Bye bye. Oh, I always forget, if you like the video, please give me a big thumbs up, a big old humble pie thumbs up, and share the video with your friends and your family who you think will enjoy this bit of encouragement to grow in the Caribbean despite the immense pressure we have with weather and bug and other stuff. All right, now we can say bye. Ta-ta.